Hello everyone, this is Sharpedo43 once again, bringing you all another Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be another OU battle, and my opponent's going to be the TheDeluxeBanana once again. If you guys have seen, he and I have already battled in the past. I even showcased the first battle that we had here. Well, it wasn't the first battle, but it was one of the battles that I wanted to showcase because it was a pretty good battle that we had. Now here, I challenged him to OU battle once again. And I did bring a different team this time around, but he seems to be actually confident enough to try his Tapulele Mega Zam team. The only different, in fact, so in other words, it's pretty much the same team that he used against me the last time I battled him. Now the only difference is that this time around, instead of having that Alola Muck like he had the last battle, he's actually going to use Porygon-2, which in my opinion I think is actually a lot more annoying than Muck. So I guess you can say that he kind of upped the difficulty a little bit more. Not that it matters because he actually did very well the last time we battled with just the Alolan Muck. So it's only a matter of what he can do now that he has Porygon at his disposal. But yeah, my team, like it's gonna actually be an interesting team around centering around Mega Diancie, because I actually wanted to use Mega Diancie. I think this was like the first time I used Mega Diancie in a team, so wanted to see how I can do against TheDeluxeBanana with team surrounding Mega Diancie, basically revolving around Mega Diancie. But anyways, he's gonna lead off with Porygon-2, as you can see, and I'm gonna lead off with Zapdos. Obviously this matchup is not very ideal for Zapdos, so of course I'm going to just Volt Switch and go straight into Weavile. Now with this Weavile, I'm just gonna go for a knockoff after this Porygon goes for an Ice Beam. Thankfully I was able to predict this, not that I was trying to predict anything, I just wanted to get out of the this matchup with Zapdos and Porygon-2 because I know it's not ideal. So I just went into Weavile hoping he'd try to go for Ice Beam. And he now switches it up to Thunderbolt as I go for a after I went for knockup, I guess. And then here I went for an Icicle Crash and then I just missed, which is annoying. Now he gets recovery. Now I have to try to Icicle Crash him one more time so I can at least get the flinch. And this is actually important because, I mean, first of all, if I got the flinch, I wouldn't be taking this much damage on my Weavile. But the reason why I wanted to flinch it was so that I can actually retaliate with this ICMZ that I just surprised him out of nowhere right here. As you can see, I'm just gonna burst out that Sub-Zero Slammer and throw this Porygon-2 out of this world, basically. Thanks to the fact that I knocked off its Eviolite. What the hell's an Eviolite? Anyways, I knocked off its Eviolite, so as a result, after a Icicle Crush, I figured I can definitely take this thing out now. I wasn't sure if it was max defense invested or not, but I mean, I figured that the fact that I knocked off the Eviolite helps a lot. And if he KOs my Weavile, then at least I have weakened the Porygon-2 basically. So anyways, now he goes into Magearna, and I don't want to stay in on this. I don't care if this thing goes for Floor Cannon, I'm going to send in Swampert on this thing. Thankfully he does go for Flash Cannon, which is really, really good for me. Now here, I kind of anticipated him to switch out and go straight into Zapdos. This is another matchup that I honestly don't like, just because every time I go with Zapdos, it's always going to freaking go for Defog. Like every time I send in Swampert against Zapdos to go for the Stealth Rocks, it's just gonna go for Defog all the time. So I figured, you know what, let's just go for Scald, predicting that switch into Zapdos, and I do predict it. Get the Scald off, get the burn, which is actually ideal. Now here I'm gonna hard switch into Diancie because I wanted to see, because I anticipated him to either. Actually, I anticipated him to Roost because I didn't get my rocks up just yet, because I didn't want to go for them, because I knew the first thing he was going to want to do was just get the Defog off. That's pretty much the standard routine of every Swampert v Zapdos matchup. Swampert goes for rocks, Zapdos goes for Defog. It just never ends. So it's really annoying. So I decided to switch out, anticipating a Roost. He does go for it. I go into Diancie, Mega Evolve. I go for a Diamond Storm. It doesn't even freaking take it out, which is actually a lot crazier. I thought it would actually, but it actually doesn't. So this Zapdos is probably a defensive one. And even more annoying is that this Zapdos actually has Discharge. So now it just paralyzes me. Apparently the Discharge actually has a higher percent chance to paralyze. I think it's like 30% to paralyze, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I paralyzed my Diancie, and now as a result I have to switch out to avoid losing the Diancie. Now here he actually predicts my switch of Diancie into Swampert, and actually goes for another Roost. So I was like, had I stayed in there, I would have been able to take it out. But actually, not really, because it loses its flying typing. So I probably would have been screwed either way. So yeah. Now here he's gonna go for Heat Wave, and as I go into Swampert, and I'm just gonna try to Earthquake, predicting another Roost, because he wasn't at complete HP yet. He didn't have full HP. I could have probably gone for the Scald or maybe even Stealth Rocks, although that would have been probably just very, very boring. But what I'm going to do here now is just go for, I think, my rocks once again. He goes for a Heat Wave, and I think here I try to switch out once again. Just because I figure he's definitely going to go for it. Like I said, every time I'm paired with Zapdos with Swampert, every time I try to go for Stealth Rocks with Swampert, the Zapdos is always going to go for Defog. So I just have to switch out. Or I have to try to see if he's actually going to go for it again. I was actually confident he would. Worst case scenario is that he goes for another Discharge, predicting me to switch out, and then paralyzing my Tapu Lele, which would actually be really bad. I can't even talk, I tells you. I'm so dumb. But anyways, I'm gonna I do get the switch that I wanted into Tapu Lele. He does go for Defog as I anticipated, so now as a result, he has no switch-ins for a Psyshock. Well, he does have Magearna, but if that Magearna gets weakened enough, I'll be able to take it out, and that's kind of a win condition for him, in my opinion. He does send in Magearna now, though, and I'm definitely going to switch out Tapu Lele because I do not want this Tapu Lele to take any damage. Here I feel like I could sack Swampert if he chooses to go for the Floor Cannon, but he actually just goes for Flash Cannon. Now here, because he went for Flash Cannon and my Yappa Berry didn't proc, I figure, you know what, let's just switch out and go into Skarmory and see if he tries to go for Floor Cannon here. And he actually does try to go for Floor Cannon, but it does miss, so it's like, whatever. Now here I try to switch out again to see if he actually tries to shift it back to either Flash Cannon or Ice Beam. And he does switch out instead, and he goes into Landorus-T. Now here I figure, okay, maybe what he's going to want to do with this Landorus-T is set up Stealth Rock. So I'm going to stay in and go for a Scald. And I actually do stay in, and he actually surprises me with a Flynium Z Landorus-T. I was like, say, what? I did not think. Well, okay, it's not uncommon for Landorus-T to carry Supersonic Sky Stripe, but honestly, I don't know, man. His again, just looking at the team composition, I just can't picture freaking Flynium Z Landorus-T. So yeah, of course I wasn't expecting that. I do lose Swampert as a result, but now I know it's not Choice Scarf, so now I can just send in Weavile and try to Icicle Crash it. I was gonna knock off, but I figured that would be just too risky, and on the off chance that this thing just stays in and just sacks Landorus-T or something. So here I just went for Icicle Crash. I could have missed this too, and this could have also been bad for me. But I do get some damage on this Magearna now. And here what I'm gonna do now is just go for the knockoff. The reason why is because I kind of had a feeling this Magearna was Assault Vest, so I just figured, you know what, let's just knock off its item. And it was an Assault Vest. It was not a Shift Gear set, thankfully. Because that would have actually been really bad. Because if that thing was Shift Gear, I probably would have been screwed if it got one Shift Gear up. Because I think it outspeeds the entirety of my team otherwise. I mean, afterwards. So here I'm going to go into Zapdos because after losing Weavile, this thing is at +1. What I'm going to do here is actually go for Volt Switch just to get some more damage on Magearna. Because I do not think that a Heat Wave would be able to take it out. I was going to say Diancie, the Magearna. It's because Diancie and Magearna look kind of similar if you look at them carefully. But yeah, here I sacked Diancie because I knew he was going to just try to finish off my Zapdos with an Ice Beam or something. And now here I figure, okay, I think this should be enough for me to take out this Magearna now. And if he switches out, something's going to take damage, so is he going to want that? He does choose to leave Magearna in, and it's going to be taken out by Zapdos with a Heat Wave, so I do take out this Magearna, which is excellent, because honestly, this thing was actually a huge threat. Now here he's going to go into Landorus, and I was like, okay, you know what? I still have Skarmory, so I can definitely just wall this thing to death. So I'm Gucci there. But what he's gonna do here, and it should have been, it was to be expected, especially with a Pokemon with a set of Flynium Z. He's actually gonna go for the Swords Dance here with Landorus-T, and now he's gonna go for a fourth one. Now this was actually scary, and I actually didn't think he would try to go for this, honestly. So I went for the Brave Bird. I thought he was gonna probably try to switch out into either Tapu Lele or the Alakazam, but he didn't. He just went for a second Swords Dance, and now he's at +4, and I was like, okay, can I take a hit from this thing? He does go for the Fly, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a lot of damage from this. Am I gonna be able to take it? I went for Roost here because I figured, okay, he's definitely gonna try to hit me real hard with this Fly. Then I go for Roost, and I think this actually gets me back to almost full HP. Not full HP, but just almost full HP. And I was thinking, okay, I could take another one, right? But what he's going to do here is actually surprise me even further and go for a What the Fluff Bloom. I was like, holy cranberries, I did not see What the F Boom on this thing. That was crazy. I didn't... This guy like just hit me with a bang right here. I was like, say, what? Damn, son. That was ridiculous. But anyways, here he goes into Tapu Lele and I just go into Zapdos and I was like, okay. This is actually going to get really crazy here, because honestly what I'm going to do here is go for Volt Switch. I was hoping, for goodness sake, that he did not try to go for Moonblast here, because I think if he went for Moonblast here, I would have probably like been in a worse position. He thankfully does choose to go for Psychic. I honestly feel that he could have just gone for the Moonblast here, honestly. I don't think there was any reason not to go for Moonblast, unless he doesn't carry Moonblast on this Tapu Lele. But otherwise, I don't see why he didn't go for it. Because here I sent in my own Tapu Lele. It's not Scarf, it's actually Choice Specs, but I had to basically win a Speed tie, which I thankfully did. But now he has this Alakazam, which could have Shadow Ball. And here I was just about to double switch into Zapdos, predicting a Shadow Ball, so that I can get a Volt Switch off, or even just go for Thunderbolt. Or even just go for Volt Switch, sack Tapu Lele, and then send in Zapdos to go for a Thunderbolt. But he actually just over predicted and went for Psychic on my Tapu Lele, and as a result I was able to hit it really good with a Moonblast. So now I get to actually just send in Zapdos, which is Choice Scarf, thankfully. And now I'm able to finish off this Mega Alakazam with a Thunderbolt. So that's gonna be the whole game, and holy cranberries. Even though this is the same team that I pretty much faced him the last time, this battle was also just hella close. It just goes to show how good that team that he has is, because holy crap, even with this team that I made that had mons like Mega Diancie, Weavile, like it gave my team a hard time. So for me to have been able to squeeze the win out right there was actually pretty crazy. In fact, I think the plays that I made there were ridiculous, so I'm surprised I actually managed to pull that back, actually. But yeah, that was a pretty close game. I do think that Banana did make a few misplays. Like for example, I think he went for for Psychic on the last few turns, when I think he should have gone for Moonblast. But like I said, if he doesn't have Moonblast, then it just makes sense why he wouldn't go for it. So yeah, but I think other than that, I think it was a pretty good battle, and every other play that he made otherwise was also pretty good. So yeah, once again, good game to the TheDeluxeBanana. Thank you all for watching this battle. It was pretty intense in my opinion, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below if you guys want to, and I'll catch you guys in the next battle. So yeah, catch you later.